And you've been crunching the numbers with this cabinet shuffle.
Yeah, this big change today, Senate, happened just 70 days exactly after the Ford government tabled its first budget. There was a lot of digits floating around, so let's take a look at the cabinet shuffle by the numbers. 21 is the number of new ministers. That's up by 2. Each make $165,430 a year. 5 is the number of new associate ministers, who pull in just over $138,000 a year. So the total annual salary of the cabinet is now $4.1 million annually, meaning $1 million more in costs for the larger cabinet. And that's not including the cost to hire the additional staff that will be needed. 7 is the number of new faces in cabinet. They include Paul Calandra. He's a new government House leader. He's a former MP. Kinga Surma, a young first-time MPP here at Queen's Park, is a Ford friend. She's the new Associate Minister of Transportation. Doug Downey is the new Attorney General. He's from the Barrie region, and he has a law degree from Dalhousie University. The most notable new face, though, may be 32-year-old Stephen Lecce, a former communications advisor for Stephen Harper, who takes over the big ministry of education from Lisa Thompson. 6 is the number of new portfolios created. They include the Minister of Long-Term Care, the Associate Minister of Small Business and Red Tape Reduction, the Associate Minister of Mental Health and Addiction, and the Associate Minister of Energy. That's Bill Walker, who gets a demotion. But 28 may be the most striking number. That's the total size of the new Ford cabinet, which makes it now bigger than Toronto City Council, which Premier Ford famously shrunk last year. Does it give you any pause that your cabinet now is bigger than Toronto City Council?
Well, that's funny you ask. We have larger than a 10, probably 12 times size of budget. Large budgets. So there's a lot of heavy lifting, a lot of moving parts, and we have a great team to fulfill our agenda moving forward.
We have to really find a way to make sure and by we I mean not just Toronto and Queen's Park, but also all of the cities and perhaps other groups as well, to work together in more of a spirit of mutual consultation and partnership, so that policy initiatives that emerge, decisions that are taken, sometimes not with the agreement necessarily of say the City of Toronto, but where we always would feel in advance we had a chance to say, well, have you thought of this? We think it would be better if you did it that way, just so our views are taken into account.
All told, 12 ministers are changing portfolios this 356 days after Premier Ford took office. It made for one very interesting day at Queen's Park.